Every change that you decide to make to move you into a better direction will make a ripple. Now, some of those ripples feel real good for the people that are around you because they want you to be. Hey now, how is everybody doing? Welcome to Alert Diaries with Tanya E. Today, I'm going to share a past lesson that I gave to a group of individuals about knowing who we are, because when you're clear about who you are at the core of your being, it makes it easier for you to get through the rest of the stuff that's happening. Let's listen. Sometimes we forget that we get the opportunity to choose. You get to choose what happens in your life. You get to choose what you do next. And because we're in the middle of this mess, it doesn't always feel like we get to choose. But I want to encourage you and let you know today that you get that opportunity. There's a quote by Dennis Waitley that says there are two primary choices in life: to accept the conditions as they exist or the responsibility to change them. Either way, you get to make the choice of what you need to move yourself into a better direction. When I was going through my hot mess moments, I didn't feel like I had a choice. I didn't even know often what to choose. And so I ended up in a place where I sort of closed myself off from the world. I want to encourage you. Don't close yourself off. Even if you're not quite sure what to say, just ask. I recognize that transformation is not easy, but you have the natural ability to change any thought that is not supporting you. You get to choose what you get to do next. If you feel that the environment that you are in right now is not where you want to be, start putting in a plan of action. Because the truth, when you recognize it and observe it, it's a little startling at times, but it is so helpful. Getting a chance to recognize that the truth is there to support you, even if all it does is tell you that this is how it is. If it is what it is, great. At least I know that part. That's your starting point to start making some other adjustments. Some of the things that I've shared in the past was create your circle. I call it the levels of relationship. There's 3 circles that I often share, starting with yourself, thinking of yourself as your first level. Put the surrounding elements of what you need to make certain that you are whole. And inside that inner circle is you first. If you got babies, they're in there with you. You don't have to be responsible for everybody else. If they are not in your immediate household that you have to be immediately responsible for, it is time to start letting some other people handle their stuff. Now, you may have been the one that everybody went to all the time, and it is in your heart to support and serve, and there is nothing wrong with that. But there comes a time where you have to be the one that you look out for. Because in this situation, while you're going through this stuff, not everybody knows what to even help you with or give you guidance or support on. And if they give you some support, analyze it. What I often learned and had to make a decision on is when people were giving me their advice, and I'm including myself in that journey because I'm sharing my standpoint. I've been on the other side, so these things that I share, I know work because they have. But if it's not in your situation right now, still analyze it. Take the meat, discard the bones. If someone gives you ideas about one thing, see if that one thing works for you. And if it doesn't work for you right now and you think it's something great, store it in your backdrop and mindset later so that you can pull it out when you feel you need it. Because there were some things that people told me along the way that made no sense in my moment. And there were some other things that I recognized. They were telling me what they would do because it was them showing me love. But I could absolutely never, ever, 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 ever use that information. So I decided I will accept the thought and show the perception that I thought they were giving me of appreciation. And if you want to let individuals know that keeps giving you some information that you know not supporting you, just say, I really want to thank you for supporting me on this journey by giving me some insight that you think will help me. I'm appreciative of how you feel, but give me a moment to work it out for myself. And if I feel like I really need some extra support, I'll come to you and ask you for some help. That way, you get the opportunity to let the people in your world help you on your journey. They get the opportunity to feel that they're being supportive in your life. You also recognize that you're not going to take the advice. You don't have to take the advice, and they don't need to know that you ain't taking the advice. Okay. So that was something that I needed to do. I shared this in the past. Find what you need to disrupt the pattern that you're in so that you can get to a place where you shake it up just enough to start moving into a better direction. Because if you change one element, your psyche gets the thought process that, hey, if we are changing this, then we can change something else. And then you'll come up with a strategy. And that strategy will give you new ideas. And those new ideas will give you greater confidence. And it's in that moment that you will start making the transformation that you need. Because it's not an easy journey. But taking the journey, oh, it's worth it. It's worth it for you to get on the other side. Because once you face the truth, it's sobering and liberating. You are no longer blaming others for your stuff. And also you recognize that all the situations that come up, you know that that problem has a collaboration with what's happened in your environment, the people that you're in, and the decisions that you make. So all the things that you're encountering, you recognize there's something that I can do. I may not be able to control what they can do. I may not be able to control the circumstances, but if I make the adjustment on what I can do, then you, what my grandmother told me for years, then baby, you're the pebble. When you throw a pebble in a pond, it makes a ripple. You are the pebble. Every change that you decide to make to move you into a better direction will make a ripple. Now, some of those ripples feel real good for the people that are around you because they want you to be the way they have decided they want you. And if you choose to get away from toxic situations, from abusive moments, and be better, be whole, it's going to ruffle somebody's feathers because they won't be able to control you. For some individuals in your life, they were using their manipulative tactics to control your behavior. And when you decided no more, it put them in a position where they lost control. So they'll start being a little more combative. And if they were abusive, they'll start getting a little more abusive. Keep your circle safe. Put the layers that you need to keep you whole. Everybody doesn't need to be in your immediate circle. They may need to be on the outer circle, level 2. Now, the level 2, I call the level 2 individuals, those people that you know that you can talk to, but you dedicate your time and you focus your vision on what you're doing now. Because what you focus on, you start functioning through. And if you're focusing on the past and the chaos and all the stuff, then it'll start affecting you that way. But if you choose to focus on what you need next to transform your life and move you into a better direction, then that will give you the opportunity to recognize who will be in level 1 with you, that will help you focus, that will support you on the journey so that you can get to the transformation that you desire. Who do you need on level 2? This has been stated a little bit. The 3 C's. It's a strategy tool that helps give me clarity. In the 3 C strategy, first C is clarity. Get clear about what you're looking at. Be clear about how you feel about things. Be clear about what you really want to take place. Be clear about what you wish you had. Because sometimes when we are going through this space of divorce, we get stuck in what we wish we had. There were elements and things in my marriage that I wish existed. And so I fought harder for it, hoping that I could make those things come to pass. But I had to get clear in this moment, at this time, right now, does it exist for me? And if the answer is no, that leads me to the next C. I need to connect. And then the other C, close. Decide where you have to put yourself in those moments. I had to decide that the vision that I had for my marriage never existed. So I had to deal with the sobering truth that what I had married and the thoughts that I wanted to have never existed. That I was still chasing the fairy tale, that I was still chasing what I wish was. So when I finally faced the truth, this is my reality. And it will be my reality until I make a change. So I need to be the pebble. I still want to make certain that he is okay to a certain degree so that my babies are okay, but he is not my primary thought. So I made him level 3. He looked at me like I was crazy, but I knew what I had to do. It was time for him to go. So I packed up his things. Red alert. Is he the one? The pocket guide, the find and love of your life, tells my story. The free chapter is available for you in the link below. So in level three is like the public. What would you do for a stranger on the street to make certain that they are okay? Those were some of the things I had to start positioning my mindset to put him in that category so that when I made the strategy with the 3 C's as a decision point, I didn't feel the guilt or wanted to overextend myself. Recognize what you bring to the table, because inside of your soul, you already have a strength that other individual sees, that they recognize as supportive. They want to continue to have access to your strength while they go off and do their other things. Make a decision. This is where I also had to choose to love me more. You will reach a space and you will maybe, like I did, constantly repeat, who do I love more? I had to constantly choose Tanya over and over again. And I didn't always choose me because there were elements about being married to him that tapped into past elements of things that I never fixed. And so when we went into our trigger moments that ultimately was the demise of our marriage, a lot of those trigger moments was stuff from my past that he had absolutely nothing to do with. But I married someone that was familiar to my pain, that was familiar to the abuse that I was used to, because I did not have names for those emotions. So the emotion of him trying to make me feel like I was crazy when he was tapping into that back past thought that I had when I was 8 years old with somebody trying to make me think that who I was not enough. How I felt did not need to be validated. Those things in your past, if you don't make a decision about, you will still meet up in your future. It will just be a different name and a different face until you fix what's in you. He just replaced the past individuals of my life that caused me angst over those things. So I had to decide to love Tanya, love me from the top of my head to the soles of my feet. Choose you. Choose to love you. Choose to fix the pieces in you that people keep trying to make you feel like you are less than. And so for today, if you don't remember anything else I've shared, here's what I need you to remember. One of the things I had to learn is whatever level you want somebody to meet you at, you've got to teach them how to treat you. That will give you the opportunity to know that you don't have to meet their energy level of anxiousness and overbearing assertive parts. If your natural nature is to be quiet in the moment, you can still be quiet in the moment. And when they are finished, say, thank you for sharing your thoughts. Now, this is what I think we should do, especially if you're an individual like me, and planning and thinking as I analyze what's happening to keep the situation at a pace where it's level. I bring the tone down to a tone that I want to deal with. I'm not going to meet you in anger. I'm not going to meet you in your frustration. If you want to go through that cycle, that's your own personal cycle. Because one of the things that was shared, and I'm thankful that an older lady shared this with me then, didn't make sense, so I didn't take it. But it was one of those pieces of insight that I just tucked away. I took the meat, discarded the bones. The meat that she gave me was this. She said, baby, 2 people have to argue for an argument to take place. So if one person is all in an argumentative state, you don't have to argue with them. You can disagree without being disagreeable. So when the assertive nature showed up, I wanted it calm like I wanted it to be. So I addressed in a calm manner, but I addressed with calm confidence. It was the confidence that let the assertive one know, I hear what you're saying, and you're not going to be in a position where you're going to keep talking to me this way. So if you want to move into a direction where we can speak better, do different, then you got to talk to me different. You have to sometimes tell people how to address you in their moments of conflict. Find your truth in this moment, live it out, function in it, and start using those things the way that you learn so that you can do it faster. So that's what I wanted to share today. And if you want someone to join you on the journey, feel free to go to my website, tanyaehood.com. There you can click on the Work With Me tab and see the various ways that we can work with one another. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood, walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same.